Okay, good morning. CQ, the old friends net. This is N4LQ, November 4, Lima, Quebec. Steve in Shelby, North Carolina, calling CQ the old friends net. The old friends net is an amplitude modulation only net, and we meet here every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m., Thursday morning at 8 a.m., and Sundays at 4 p.m. here on 3715 kilocycles. We run mostly vintage equipment. Anything that can generate, or anybody that can generate an AM signal is welcome to check in. We operate in the round table fashion, so those wishing to check in, please call now.
Good morning, WA4LLR.
KZ4 Bravo.
WB4ARK. WB4NKL.
WA4EVK.
For Oscar Zulu India.
W4MEC. All right, what a beautiful organized check-in with beautiful AM signals. Let's see, what we got here so far is WA4LLR, KZ4B, WB4ARK, WB4NKL, WA4EVK, N4OZI, and W4MEC. Are there any more check-ins? Call now. I guess I didn't miss anybody. Real quick down the list: LLR, Z4B, ARK, NKL, EVK, OZI, and MEC. Okay, well, it's a beautiful day here today. It's supposed to get up to 75 degrees. It's only 31 right now. And I got up, for some reason, I got up early this morning at 6:30, and I should have gotten up late. I don't know why, but I woke up early and just feel great after working yesterday evening in the basement on the new shack down there. And I got my wall standards up for the shelving. Finally, I found the right kind of anchor bolts, and they just went in beautifully into the concrete blocks with no problems. So Tapcom just did not work for me, so I ended up getting bolts that you drill the hole, you put the plastic plug in, and they're supposed to hold 250 pounds, and then you run the screw through there and you're done. And they really do grip great. Running the Collins 32V3 and listening on the HQ110, the 140X, and the horizontal loop antenna. So let's do our first round. Good morning, Dave. WA4LLR, N4LQ.
All right, fine business, Steve. N4LQ and the old friends WA4LLR. Well, good signals all the way around thus far. Running the RT13, receiving on the R390A, and feeding horizontal dipole directly with coax at about 50 feet. 46 degrees. I'm amazed that down in the lowlands it's chillier. I know on the earlier net, talking to YBC down in Lenore, and he was at 27. And I looked at different thermometers, and they all say we're at 46, so that's unusual. And it's supposed to go up to 70 today for us, which I'm looking forward to. Yesterday had to do a lot of propane work for the local gas company. Glad we got that finished, and hopefully it won't last too much longer. I think everybody probably has the news by now about the passing of W7 IUC Norm. He went home to be with the Lord yesterday morning at 7:30. So keep Rita, his wife, in your prayers and the family. And we'll miss Norm. I know that he was back a few years back. He was a fairly regular on this net and others. It became more sporadic, and of course he's been battling cancer for a while, but I'm thankful the battle's over. Anyway, John, good signal this morning. Down to you. KZ4B, WA4LLR.
Okay, WA4LLR and the group KZ4B, fine business, Dave. Sorry to hear about the passing of Norm. We're checking out at too rapid a rate, but that comes with a hobby that's aging out too quickly. For those, well, everybody here knows me, but the handle's John. The QTH is Lake Norman on the east side. The transmitter is a Knight T150, driving a Meritron AL 82, in turn feeding a resonant dipole, and therefore no antenna tuner in the line. Looking forward to the nice weather. I can see that my grass is growing, and I would anticipate, if the rain doesn't catch me, cutting grass this week for the first time this season, because it is starting to creep out of the ground, and so that'll keep me out of trouble and off the streets. So, buddy, take it away. WB4 ARK in the group, KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, WB4 ARK. Well, sorry to hear about Norm. He's had a long haul of it. The weather here is 36 degrees, and it's full sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. We had 0.31 inches of rain yesterday, and so that's the story on the weather. And we're running the ART-13 again today, the R390A, and so that's about it for the transmitter, receiver, and so we haven't done much work. We had to go with Linda to an appointment yesterday, so we didn't get much done. So we'll work on that today and try to get a little bit done here at the house. So with that, over to WB4NKL. This is WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy, WB4ARK. It's WB4NKL. Good signals here this morning. I had 30 when I got up, and it dropped down to 29, but I think it's turned around now, so they're saying they'll get up to 70, so looking forward to that, 70 for the next few days. Still kind of cool at night. I hadn't seen any grass growing yet, but I don't know, I'm not really looking forward to that, John. And John, I missed you down at the Charlotte Ham Fest somehow. They said you were there, and came down with Chuck, and I guess we just didn't cross paths there, but I'll try to catch you at the next one somewhere. Running the BC 610 here again this morning and exercising it a little bit. I'll send it on around. Go ahead, Boone. WA4 EVK. It's WB4 NKL.
WB4 NKL in the group. WA4 EVK. Morning, everyone. It's about 37 degrees here in Pickens. We looking forward to a beautiful day. Running the AF68 in the Swan Mark 1 out into an in-fed half-wave cut for 80 meters. Not much going on other than that. I'm trying out a new noise, or I guess you'd call it a signal enhancer. And we're going to see how that works. Get it ready for my obnoxious noise source that I have on Sunday afternoons. And with that, I'm going to send it on over to M4OZI to take it, WA4.
Okay, WA4 EBK. This is M4OZI. We're on the Viking 2 that we got in the ham shack. And it seems to be doing pretty good, and this evening the Drake R4A. So I think I got my modulation set about right. At least it seems like it. So first transmission with it. So it's working. Got this from Stan from Dalton Hamfest, and finally got everything hooked up in here correctly, and also got the R4A working. It didn't want to work. So, and you might let me know if my modulation is just right, too much, too little, and we can adjust accordingly. W4 MEC, N4OZI.
Okay, Alan, real good. W4 MEC and the old friends group. Let's see. Good morning, fellas, and it's 31 here. Clear as a bell, but 31 degrees. It's 41 in my garage shack, so I'm not in there on the ART-13 or the DX100 or anything else that's out there. And I picked up a darn cold from my wife, I guess, and she was fighting something. So I'm pretty much over it, and I finally got it. Oh, I got it. I've been taking my granddaughter, since my wife was sick, I was taking my granddaughter to her Wednesday thing at the library, and I might have got it from some little kid there. So anyway, just cold with a runny nose, the typical stuff. So and again, thanks for sending the email about Norm, a sad day. And if you didn't send it to the rest of the old friends group that's not on the .io extension, I'll do that, Dave, and send it to the other fellas there. And let's see, anybody that might have picked up a microphone at the old friends lunch that Richard had in Jim's stuff. I was looking at the one I got yesterday. I think there was 3 of them, and I got one. Somebody else got another one. It's a carbon mic. It's a Shure carbon microphone. I forgot the number, 98, CB98, I think. And I got to looking at it, and I looked at the cord. I said, "Oh, there's no shielded cable in here." So I opened up the back, and sure enough, it's a carbon microphone. So, which is not bad if you need a carbon mic, but just be aware that that's what it is. So let's see. Well, hold it back today. Back to Steve. Oh, Steve. Tom said no. That's 2 Toms. Tom said Thursday it'll work for him. So. We'll see what Thursday looks like. I'll be back with you. And Tom in High Point, WA4 FJQ has not been on the air because Helene took down his, I know maybe it wasn't Helene, but high wind, they had a high windstorm in there, and it took down his in-fed halfway, broke the wire, and pulled it out of the tree. And he's waiting for a fellow that's got a potato gun to come over there and shoot him a new line up in the tree. So he has got that vertical, that butternut or whatever that thing is, and he's got it suspended from a tree. But he says he can hear us, but nobody can hear him. So he's tried, but not making the trip. WA4LLR in the group W, or no, correction, N4LQ in the group W for me.
Yeah, okay. I thought for a minute you were going to say Tom's wife took his antenna down. This is N4LQ. Do we have any more check-ins to the old Friends Net? Call now.
K3OS.
Well, there you are, K3OS. Gary, good morning. Go ahead and make a transmission, then back to me.
Okay, Steve. N4LQ, K3OS, I think. Ooh. Why is the amp not? Well, I'm running barefoot here. I won't on the next round. The amp is not clicking in, and I know why. I can fix that here. So I'll keep it short. Good to meet and see everybody at Charlotte, and enjoying a beautiful day here. Go ahead, Steve. N4LQ. Let me get the amp running. K3OS.
Okay. Well, you sound fine here this morning, Gary, and welcome to the net. Well, that was a good round. All the signals were very clear and easy to copy. Let's see. Alan wanted a report. Good signal strength. Plenty of modulation. It doesn't sound like you're using a D104. It's a little bit. It's missing the highs that D104s usually have, so I suspect maybe it's not one, but it does sound good clear audio, no problem at all from the Vikings. So the ART 13s all sound good, the T150, AF68 from Boone sounding good, and Charlie, sorry to hear about your cold, and okay on Tom FJQ and his antenna situation. That's pretty bad. If I was anywhere near there, I would run over there and give him a hand with my slingshot. But let's see, boy, kind of a wild morning. I got up to fry a couple eggs and ended up dropping one right by my foot on the carpet. There's a kind of a throw rug in front of the stove, and it all landed on the throw rug. So I put the throw rug in the sink and sprayed it down and scrubbed it off with a sponge and soap and rinsed it. And that thing is just an amazing rug. It just came right off. Put it back on the floor and it's good to go. So had to do that before the dogs came in, because they may have decided they needed to eat that egg, which would have been okay except for the shell. Yeah, let's see. I got my shipment of twisted wire in. I love this stuff. It's Teflon insulated twisted wire, 14 gauge, and I'm going to make a new 4-to-1 dual core current balun, which I use on 160 for this inverted V. The 1-to-1 didn't quite work out, so I'm temporarily using a inferior one from DX Engineering, and I'll get my own built here pretty quick and get that going. And I've got my wire for my new ladder line that I'm building for the loop here. I got that at the Charlotte Hamfest from the Wire Man, and it's just 14 gauge insulated wire, but it's that silky stuff, and it's very flexible and easy to work with. But it's 45 cents a foot. That's a little high for 14 gauge wire, but it's just really nice stuff. So anxious to get that stretched out here in the driveway, and maybe on this warm day I'll do that. And then today I'll run down to Lowe's and get my shelf boards, 10-foot long, 1 inch thick pine, I guess. I think that's what I'll get. I don't want to get particle board because that stuff sags so bad. So back over to Dave in the Oasis, I guess, 46 degrees. What's going on up there? WA4LLR, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WA4LLR. I don't know, but I'm happy about whatever it is. I was amazed when I left the dog and cat out this morning, but I'll take it. And I checked multiple thermometers to make sure I didn't have one that was doing wishful thinking, and they all were in agreement. So they either, they've either banded together to fool the old man or something. But yeah, I'm enjoying that 46 degrees, going up to 70 today. Steve, you've really got some industrious motivation going there. All the projects you got going and the work going on, man, I'm impressed. Way to go. John, cutting grass this week on the 11th of March. It'll probably be a month before we need to cut it up here, if not more. And buddy, okay, on the rain yesterday, we didn't get any rain up here. Cliff audio on that BC610 is super. It's just as clear as a bell. And Boone, your AF68 sounds good, and NFED's doing a super job. Alan, the Viking 2 is doing well. And I'm curious, as Steve mentioned, are you running like a Shure 444 microphone or what? Because I didn't hear a whole lot of highs either. Let's see, Charlie, sorry to hear about the cold. Man, there's so many colds, flu, whatever going around. It's just a phenomenal year for it. Good morning to you, Gary. Well, let's see. Space weather's pretty mundane today. Sunspot count 74, solar flux 148, and the K is 2.33. So, a few things from this day in history. On this day in 2011, major earthquake and tsunami hit Japan, and it triggered a nuclear accident with one of their reactors. On this day in 2020, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a pandemic. On this day in 2004, Madrid suffered a series of terrorist attacks when 10 bombs exploded on 4 trains, killing 191 people. On this day in 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev became the leader of the Soviet Union. On this day in 1942, Douglas MacArthur became the commander of the Pacific Forces. Let's see what else is going on. Not too much. On this day in 1930, William Howard Taft was the first U.S. president buried in Arlington National Cemetery. On this day in 1918, one of the most devastating pandemics in history reached the United States as the first case of the Spanish flu was announced. And that's pretty much it. So, John, here it comes. KZ4B, WA4LLR.
Okay, WA4LLR and the group KZ4B. Fine business, Dave. Conditions are really good today. I had to put in the mechanical filter, though. There's another, sounds like a sideband QSO. Too close, but not bothering. I cannot hear it at all with the narrow sideband bandwidth mechanical filter in. Steve, the 32V3 is probably, outside of an ART-13, the best built 100-watt transmitter on the planet. But my grandfather had one, and when he was my age and I was a strapping young guy, fell on me to keep it running. And I learned to hate the weight. It was so heavy that when he passed away and I inherited his 32V3, the first thing I did was let it go. And that's back when I could lift stuff. That's a heavy sucker, but a very nice transmitter. Steve, it's nice to know you're in such good shape. Cliff, sorry I missed you at the Charlotte Ham Fest. I did a lot of heavy socializing with a lot of people that I don't see that often, and would have enjoyed your company as well. And I even met a new friend who lives on Lake Norman, who the crowd that he ran with was the same crowd that I ran with, relating to aviation, hot rodding, drag racing, and a lot of other things. It was really uncanny, and to my recollection, I never ever met him. It's just unbelievable. Especially on the flying end, because he flew out of the same little airports that I did. And he lives over near the Lake Norman Aviation Airport off Perth Church Road. And but we had a nice eyeball QSO. Let's see, what else here? I was very close to Gary, so we got to see each other a little bit. And it was heavy on the socializing end. I really enjoyed it, and picked up a few small things that normally I can't find. One was a Radio Shack frequency counter, a very well made thing. I had one, but somehow I misplaced it. And so I found another one that's very nice and works beautifully. And I checked it against WWV, and it's spot on. So that tickled me. And I also got a Night VFO. I really like those things. That'll be my second Night VFO. And that was the VFO I had back when I was a beginning general, and it really puts out about 15 volts peak to peak, so it'll drive anything. And it was dead nuts on 80 meters, and I had to reset it on 40. But it's in excellent condition, and usually they're rode hard and put up wet. So it's time for Buddy. WB4ARK in the group, KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, WB4ARK. Okay, John. Steve, you've got good modulation today, 100%, and good audio, so that 32V3 is doing a very good job. I have one and I really do like it. It always gives me a very clean signal. The other stations are also producing good signals today. I don't have any problems with anybody. The band is extremely quiet, except for the sideband station. I think it's sideband. And so that's about it for the band conditions. The ground is still quite damp. Streets are dry though. So we are looking for a very nice day today. I might get a little bit of work done here. I guess we'll turn it over to Cliff. Now, I had a question, Cliff, about your ART-13. I believe that it was a B unit. It had a, if I'm not mistaken, a toggle switch on the front panel right below the D knob, and just to the left of the plaque that goes on the front, that 3 by 2.5 inch black plaque that gives instructions for setting the auto tune. So if that's the case, please let me know. So over to you, WB4NKL, WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy. WB4ARK is WB4NKL. Yeah, it does have a switch right there that looks maybe added, but it's got a riveted on decal beside of it that's got extended and normal, labels on it. So I'm thinking maybe it was done when Pan Am, it's got the Pan Am module in it. I figured all that was done maybe when it was modified. But it does have that. John, good deal on the night VFO. I've got a nice one of those over here. You don't see them too often. And I picked up a Collins A-line speaker. It's the only thing I brought back rig-wise, but good hamfest. Enjoyed it. Just didn't cross paths with you. I don't have much more here. Like I say, it's supposed to warm up. I'll get out here and walk as soon as it warms up a little bit. It's a little cool in the shack right now, 55 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and sign on this one and get out here and get started on something. Enjoyed it, and thanks for calling it, Steve. Go ahead, baby. WA4EVK, WB4NKL.
WB4NKL in the group, WA4EVK. Not much to add for me. I've got an appointment here a little bit later. I'm going to have to sign and say 73s. Sorry about that. A little bit of throat. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to N4OZ. Good morning to everybody.
Okay, Ben. WA4EVK in the groups N4OZI. And let's see, we're on unamplified D104. So I guess this would just be the BC Viking 2. But this is, like I said, an unamplified D104. It does real well on all the other rigs, but I guess it's just going to sound a little bassy on here, but we'll live with it. But I do like it. Cosmetically, this Viking 2 looks really good. And it's good to have this Drake R4A matched up with something. It's I bought this receiver at a little swap meet thing here in Atlanta, and it was in pretty sad shape, but I've managed to resurrect it and get it going pretty good. So it's good to have it back on the air. I'll say 73s, but I'll listen around, appreciate the reports, and it's good to have a Viking 2 going. I know I'm a little off frequency, but this is a crystal that I grabbed because I couldn't find a a 3715 crystal anywhere, so I had to grind it, and I think it's at 3716, but that's close enough. But sure saved me some money. I've got a whole box full of other crystals in there. I could probably grind those as well. See what they end up. I'll say 73s as well. Thanks for calling it, Steve. It's great to hear everybody. Send it up to you, Charlie, W4 MEC. And Philip, over.
Okay, Alan, N4OZI in the group, W4 MEC, real good. Let's see, Boone, I got gun club tonight, so I won't be on 6 meters, so sorry about that. I will be on the repeater, though, going down, coming to. I usually talk to Carl both ways. And Carl said sometimes he listens in on our group here, but he still doesn't have a transmitter in his operating position to get on with us, but he's working towards that. He'll join us here in the morning and on Sunday, whatever. Let's see. I sent the email on to the rest of the group there. Dave, about Norm, I forget how many are on the list. There's about 20 others, I think, that aren't on the .io extension, so they get the news too. And they also get all the notes on what's going on and the announcements for the meetings, so. Anyway, let's see, I have not done anything. I haven't, last couple of days been under the weather and haven't gone out in the shop where it's a little chilly, so didn't feel like running the heat. And getting it out there where I could work, so I've just been taking it easy here, trying to get over this ASAP. So, let's see, Alan, the audio in the rig sounds good. It's filling the shack here, and no problems with that this time. And let's see, take any other notes here. What do you say? Anyway, I won't hold it. I'll send it down to Gary, K3OS in the group, W4MEC.
There we go, W4MEC, K3OS. Okay, got the amp running here. Okay, Charlie, everybody else, yeah, I'm going to make this my last one. I've got a appointment coming up here that I got to get out of. It's going to be, theoretically, we're in the mid-70s here. So we're clearly looking forward to that. So let me turn it back to Steve, and we'll say 73s. Everybody have a great week. N4LQ, K3OS.
Okay, do we have any check-ins? We had a carrier, but no audio. It must have been a fluke. Okay, this is N4LQ, and real good on Alan on the unamplified D104. That's a surprise, I must say, because it has a lot of bass especially for a D104. So I'd take that thing apart and see what's in it. It may not be what it appears to be. Anyhow, this is N4LQ. I don't really have anything pressing going on. So, those that want to go another round or want to say 73s or whatever, we've had a lot of folks bail out. NKL's gone, EVK, OZI, and OS are all gone, but some of us remain. So let's see, a comment on from John on the heaviness of the 32V. Yeah, it is an amazingly heavy. It's got a lot of gravity to it. I don't know what's going on, but it is 105 pounds. And I put some furniture sliders under it that make it easy to move around, but I couldn't get them under there without a crowbar, so I got my crowbar out and came up with something to use around here as a fulcrum and pried underneath and lifted it and put those things under the feet, so now it slides around but I use the hydraulic lift table to move it, and that's one of the best investments I've ever had, and my back really appreciates that Harbor Freight hydraulic table. And Charlie, thanks for the info on that Shure microphone. That I brought one home, and I could not find any information on the internet about that particular model number, and I was surprised if it's a CB. I found some CB model numbers for sure, and I was really surprised that it's a carbon mic. So I took a look at it, and the wires are rotten in the sheath. And I stripped it back some, and the insulation just fell off of them, so I just trashed the thing. And maybe I shouldn't have, but a carbon mic of all things. Anyway, let's go ahead and see who's left, and if we have any more subjects to discuss. WA4LLR to take it, N4LQ.
N4LQ, WA4LLR. No new subjects or earth-shattering statements from here. So I'll go ahead and say 73. Thanks for calling it, Steve. Everybody had a wonderful signal and good audio, and just a pleasure to listen to. So, Charlie, thanks for sending that info out. And everybody have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful weather. And Lord willing, we'll catch up with you on Thursday. 7-3, God bless, and have a wonderful day. KZ4B, WA4LLR.
Okay, WA4LLR in the group, KZ4B. Fine business, Dave. Booming in here as usual. Great audio. And everybody really sounds good. And conditions are just about as good as it gets. So it's overriding my next door neighbor. At the Hamfest, I bought some ferrites that I plan on clamping on his lithium-ion battery charger output to see if it reduces the interference any. And I bought every ferrite that the wireman had, and it was only 6, but I think I have 2 more, so that would put 4 on each leg, assuming that I have to put it on each leg. I'm not sure how this thing's wired. If one side is grounded, it might be better to put all 8 on the hot side, but that's to be determined. Thanks for calling the net, Steve. And buddy, you sound great today, and you usually always do. But the one I wanted to comment on is Gary. Gary, quite a few times I've had a hard time copying you, but today you are booming in, and the audio sounds great. So I don't know what you did. I don't know if it's magic or what, but it's working. Keep it up. So on that note, over to Cliff. And Cliff, you always sound good, and you're doing great today, like everybody. It's such a pleasure to listen to all these great AM signals. But buddy, take it away. WB4ARK in the group, KZ4B. I guess clear, but listening.
Okay, KZ4B, WB4ARK. All right, well, I guess Steve's going to get his Teflon silver plated wire, which I always liked that Teflon wire because it was silver plated. I've got a stash of of links that has been cut out of equipment that I got from the Surplus Electronics place in Charlotte. It comes in handy once in a while. I've got several spools too of wire that was left over from, I guess, jobs that ended up at the Ham Fest and so forth. It's always a good thing to have that Teflon coated wire. It's very high voltage and also makes for excellent wiring. Well, I'll say 73, and I guess it's going to go to Charlie. So everybody have a great upcoming week, and we'll look forward to Thursday. W4MEC, WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy, WB4ARK and group W4MEC. All right, fellas. One thing I have to say about Teflon wire is it's a little difficult to strip. And there's actually a heat stripper, and I used to have one. I actually one time looked one up. They're obscenely expensive, the electric ones, and all it was a little heater thing. Heated up almost instantly, and when you squeeze the handle, it would grip the wire, and you push the button, and heat it up and pull the Teflon right off. But I think I went looking, and they make some things like for solder guns, a tip that's will strip them. But yeah, the Teflon can be a bear sometimes to get off there cleanly. So you might look into a thermal stripper. But anyway, that's about all I got to add to that mess. And it also stinks when you use a thermal stripper. It's pretty smelly stuff. So, but usually the wires are very small. You only get a little whiff of it. So. Anywho, thanks for running the net, Steve. I'll look for you on a Thursday morning there, and maybe driving over there after the net, and we'll motor on to Kings Mountain. We'll see what happens here. 7-3 all. Info-LQ in the group. Let's see. Yeah, he left. That's right. I thought Gary might have still been there. Info-LQ, W4MEC.
Okay, I just grabbed my wire strippers and stripped the piece right off. I don't know why it would be hard to strip. And a thermal stripper, this stuff, Teflon, is kind of hard to melt. I've taken a torch to it. It seems to hold up pretty well. That's what I like about it, really. Anyway, all right, I guess that's about it for today. And appreciate everybody checking in, and I guess our next session will be Thursday at 8 o'clock, same time, same frequency. So this is N4LQ shutting down the old Friends Net.
Where did you get, if you got your number 14 Teflon wire recently, where did you get it and how bad did it hurt? Over?
I got it off eBay, and it hurts pretty bad. It's, let's see, I paid $11 for 6 feet. So it's pretty expensive. You can't hardly find it, just by the foot. It's kind of, I don't know what the deal is, but I think this is like surplus. And this is pre-twisted, so it's really nice. It makes a nice ballon. I really like using it. Go ahead.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and you have a good week. What's left of it? KZ4B clear.
All right, thanks a lot. You too, John. This is N4LQ.